Okay. I think we're good. We're recording. So anyhow, this is our October advisors meeting. The intent was to chat a little bit about chapter involvement and engagement and thoughts about how to get more folks involved and engaged. And also I guess I'll just start off in regards to just some of the previous things that we're really struggling with that, especially because we're a small chapter, and I know there are other small chapters out there that makes it more challenging to do that and have fewer folks to pull from. And then I think we're all faced with that reality of kind of the 10% rule, that you have maybe about 10% that are actively involved and they do everything, and the other 80 to 90%, so usually 10 to 20%, and the other 80 to 90% are not, or they watch the ones who do do everything. So anyhow, but I guess I would start off and ask in regards to how do you guys feel that your respective chapters do in regards to maintaining a prominent presence on campus, and I would assume that the stronger that presence is, probably the stronger your participation and activity level is. Thoughts on that?
Okay, I know with us, our e-board is very, very strong, so they consistently make sure they have volunteers at every event basically that goes on around campus. So for example, like Spirit Weekend is like our homecoming weekend, and we had a ton of volunteers from Gamma Beta Phi there. So they're always just making sure, like, they're contacting me constantly, like, what events can we have them go volunteer for? Where does the school need extra help? And so because of that, they've become like the lean on org. So if we have stuff come up, we're like, oh, call Gamma Beta Phi, they'll come and help us. So, but I think it's strictly, a lot of it's based on who the e-board happens to be, because they're very good with getting the name out there, the word out there, consistently doing stuff, trying to make sure that their name is seen on campus with different initiatives. So even with like the hurricane stuff that's been going on, like they've been collecting items and they have baskets all over the school so everyone sees the name. But I do think people get it confused with the sororities and fraternities on campus. But yeah, they've been doing pretty good with promoting it that way by just getting involved.
So yeah, so you guys are known on campus then as one of the key service organizations, and just call those guys, and they'll help out. Good, good. So it seems like that it most certainly is helping you guys a lot, and I think that would probably help it then most if you're able to establish that kind of reputation or relationship or presence there on campus. Okay. Is there a place that that you guys have found on your respective institutions that it's helpful to get the name out? I don't know if that's special bulletin boards or even just the normal kind of bulletin boards, whether they're electronic or physical type things, or is there a location, kind of a key central location on campus where people do get a lot of that kind of information or are able to get the word out?
For us, I think I was going to say that's one of the things that I've kind of really learned this semester. As you may know, James, this is only my second year advising, and it's kind of been between last year and this year, it's kind of night and day. My officers last year were, and with COVID and everything, it was kind of gotten tamped down a little bit, but I think the officers were just had other things going on and it wasn't as big a priority for them. And then this year I've got a group of young ladies who are just dynamite, and they are just really good at getting out there. And one thing we've worked on a lot this semester so far is all the digital signage on campus. So there's so many different ways to contact with people. We have to kind of try them all, because I think there isn't really a central. I mean, our Canvas, our LMS, might be one place that everybody kind of is, but you have to have something really eye-catching if you're going to be on that on the announcements page, because everybody is trying to get on there. So between figuring out how to email all the students at once, how to get on the Canvas, how to get on our digital, the TVs that are all over campus, how to get on our hotline. That's been a real, but I think that these young ladies are really doing it. They've made some eye-catching posters that I've been able to share, and I think that definitely people will be seeing Gamma Beta Phi a lot more this semester than they have in quite a while. So,
okay. Has anybody feel like you've effectively used social media as well to get the brand out, and which hopefully as well keeps your members engaged and reminded?
Yeah, one of the things that we do, James, is we do those percentage nights at all of the like the Mellow Mushroom, and I mean, you name it, you know, like all of the, there's several because that's how we raise money for Relay for Life that way, which is one of our service projects. And so we do I mean, we do it well here this fall. We've done 2 a month normally. I mean, that means I gotta go, you know. So I mean, it's, but I find that the vendors themselves they will tag us on there and say come out for, you know, because we don't get like a really, you know, big night. They don't give us Friday night, you know, we have like Tuesday night and things like that. But actually Tuesday night's a pretty good night in a college town because most all the bars and everything are closed on Monday night. And so Tuesday night, you know, the kids come back out. So we, you know, so we get a lot of social media by being tagged by where our fundraisers are. So we do one there. We do one at a local Italian restaurant. We do one at Banderitos, which is a, you know, one of the ones for kids where they don't serve alcohol or anything. But so those get us a lot of tags. And then I send those, you know, then I hashtag like the College of Education or, you know, something like that. And so we end up getting faculty there who then talk to kids about, you know, eligibility for honor societies and things like that. So that has been somewhat helpful. And certainly, you know, trying to get back face to face with the kids, you know, I think they were meeting a lot of their service requirements, and, you know, because most of my kids are in 15 other things. And so I think they were doing a lot of those online. And I don't know. I mean, they were attending meetings online. And so I don't know that they're all in for coming back face to face. So I've been trying to do stuff like we already started on our holiday cards, our holiday cards for soldiers. We already started filling those out so that when they come to a meet, last night we did 60 bags for people who have found themselves without a home. So we've done homeless bags. So when they get there, you know, they may have brought some stuff, but I've used chapter funds to get the rest of it so that it, you know, so they sit there and they talk to each other. And if they don't want to do the homeless bags, and they do the Christmas cards. And so, you know, I think having those things there, and then they go and talk about it, right? Because I've had other faculty say to me, "Oh, y'all the ones that make the homeless bags." That's kind of what we're known for, and because we give them out. So then we take them to the homeless shelter, but then we also go around to the 9 colleges and put them in, you know, take a homeless bag, you know, so that people will put them in their vehicles, you know, so that when they see a homeless person, they can give it out. So, so yeah, I've been really dependent on faculty to kind of hype it up, and we've been recognized a couple of times university wide for, it's not really all that innovative, but, you know, for the things that we do. And I think that has raised our stature, you know, in the community, even though it really hasn't increased the number of kids I got. It does seem to be a little bit more prestigious. And so the kids do seem to, you know, kind of want to be associated with that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in your case, you seem to have some activities that are specifically kind of associated with Gamma Beta Phi there on campus, kind of a consistent theme or particular service project area that you kind of are tied to or partnered with at all. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, and to pick up on what Kelsey said, so whenever we do homecoming, can y'all tell I'm facing a south window? Whenever we do homecoming, they always put us with the sororities and fraternities. So like when we do sidewalk chalk or whatever, even in the lineup, even in the parade, everything, our banner hangs with the Panhellenic, Society. They think that we're a sorority. And so it doesn't hurt. We get votes and stuff, we never win anything, but we get votes and stuff because people see our stuff. And I'm not so sure that, a lot of those kids look outside of, some of the Panhellenic societies. And so they just go and look at the Greeks and then they leave and stuff. So we are included in that. And so I haven't ever said anything, I haven't ever said, hey, that's not us. It's going on, 10 years now. So they haven't figured it out. I'm not going to say anything about it. I think the kids think it's kind of funny, but because some of them are also Greek, right? So they recognize that we're not, Tri-Delt or, AKA or whatever. So it's just interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess Wendy or Kelsey, I know you guys are new to Gamma, but you've been around it or seen it. Do you guys compete in any of the kind of student organization kind of competitions or whatever it is, morale builders or those kinds of things as well?
Yeah, so our students, they since they're a recognized organization on campus too, we have requirements that all orgs have to meet in order to, let's say, win outstanding organization or excellent organization at the end of the year. So they participate in everything. If there's ever like a team competition that all the orgs are entering, trust me, they are the first ones to sign up because they want to win. They're very competitive. So they participate in the same things that every other club would. So, with them, they try to also do that so it can get their name out there, but they also kind of like what you said about people think it's a sorority. So they're constantly being like, but we're not Greek life, but we're not Greek life, but we're not Greek life. But they're doing the same stuff. They sign up for the same amount of things. They sign up for the same trips. They, same competitions. Homecoming, we decorate these like spirit columns that line up and they always decorate one and they're still participating as if it was a regular like organization or club.
Okay. Let's see here. I guess in regards to how do you guys, your chapters, are they pretty good about developing either local type morale type things, t-shirts and your own things, or even doing mass orders or something like that to national? Has that been good and helpful? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And now, and I guess
we're about to do the sweatshirt order. They love those sweatshirts, because they get the Gamma, they get a Gamma t-shirt. And we used to, we had our own, we didn't order the national, we had our own, but when I had the ones that we had designed and the ones from Gamma, they always picked the white ones. And so I was just like, well, okay, because I can't get them any cheaper than that, right? That's the whole thing. But yeah, they already started asking about the sweatshirt order because we do a sweatshirt order right before Christmas, so they like that.
Yeah. Now, Kimberly, you said t-shirts. Do you guys do that as a standard thing? As everybody gets a t-shirt, and
everybody gets a t-shirt. Everybody gets a t-shirt. Yeah. So we pay for that. We pay for cords. We pay for stoles. We don't. I don't. And it all stems probably from about 10 years ago when one of the kids said, "What do my dues go for? If I have to buy all these things once I graduate, I've been, chunking this money. What does it go for?" And that was a very good question. I was like, well, there's no reason why. So yeah, we pay for the cords. We do fundraisers, outside of, raising money for Relay for Life and things like that. Relay for Life is our big kind of money thing. And then the rest of the stuff, we just like, September was the Humane Society thing. And so we got 500 pounds of dog food. And so that was like the president set the goal, and they just hit the stores, and they went to every pet store, every Tractor Supply, Walmart they could, and begged dog food. And so, we got close to 1,000 pounds of dog food. So, they're really good about, they don't mind going out and asking for stuff. And so, and we don't ask for gift certificates or anything like that. They go in and ask for even open bags of dog food, damaged dog food and stuff like that, because the Humane Society doesn't care. And so, it's kind of hard to just the only thing that I ever do insofar as fundraising for that is we do a raffle every year of a signed football by our football coach. And so I do that. I get the football and I go up there and he signs it, and then I take care of the raffle. And so they all sell raffle tickets and things like that, but that's the only thing I do. They go ahead and beg all the rest of the stuff.
Right. And you guys use those funds to support those things like t-shirts and cords.
T-shirts, cords, all that kind of stuff. We do the graduate dinner. And it's not, but I take them out to eat. I take all the graduates out and the officers, we all go and we pay for it. Again, I'm not paying for cocktails or anything, but yeah, and they look forward to that. They really do. We get so when we do the Ronald McDonald House, they've given us gift certificates and stuff to go out to eat, in Savannah and stuff like that. So those people who get to go to Ronald, because used to they would take 8 kids, and now I can only take 4 since COVID. But yeah, so so it's worth doing. For my kids, they're in the borough and they're in Statesboro, and they sometimes drive, all the way to Savannah to Tidy Island. We do a huge trash pickup, and so yeah, they'll carpool right on over there. It's an hour for them to drive to the island. But I think they like doing it. I think they like it. That's why they do it. I don't think it's a heinous thing for them. So.
Okay. So do you all have other social type things that you do? So Kimberly, you mentioned you do the graduate dinner and all, but other social things. And have you found has there been something that is particularly effective or helpful, or that you get good participation in from within the chapter?
We haven't done any social thing like that. I actually think that's a really great idea to try and have to have them so they can bond more. The only social stuff that I would say that our chapter does is when they're doing a trip to go serve somewhere and they're all on a bus together. That's the most social kind of they get. So it might be good for us to kind of almost copy that idea and have more of a dinner or a little thing as a recognition. Because I know that they don't really have that aspect of it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we've struggled with that here on this, and so one thing we've done in the past with limited effectiveness that we're going to try again is go back to having a social event following induction and doing dinner together. I did go to Anderson University in the spring, and they have a really nice sit-down dinner as part of their induction and all. And so they were, the chapter members, the new inductees, and family members and friends were there, and really did a nice job with that. So I know some chapters might do things like maybe meeting occasionally for breakfast or a brown bag lunch. Or something, something along those lines, either as part of their monthly meeting or completely separate as just a purely social type event. Or even, I know at least one chapter does a faculty member appreciation where they'll do a little luncheon, or each member or the members would identify different faculty members that they felt have been particularly impactful on them, and they would invite them to a lunch and kind of do that as a social event within the chapter, as well as to encourage their faculty members that they feel are particularly good at what they do. So, you know, other thoughts in regards to social activities or things that might be have been effective or might prove effective?
I didn't hear, I'm sorry, I had to step away for a minute. I didn't hear, are you just discussing in general, like, successes with, I think my officers, again, I'm still I haven't experienced everything yet, but I feel like some of the meetings are designated as socials. Is that what some of you guys do? And you have to attend a couple of social events in addition to regular meetings, and they kind of do a little get together, and they might have a, you know, a fun game or a get to know you type of game and things like that. But I think seems like the habit here is to have one of the meetings be a social meeting, and you have a couple of those a semester.
Right, absolutely. Some of the chapters, that's something that they do, and that hopefully will encourage some additional participation in the meeting itself and getting that information out as well as function as a social opportunity. So absolutely. Okay. Okay. Other thoughts in regards to ways to encourage participation and involvement within our respective chapters, and something that somebody might benefit from who listens to this?
You know, I think it's really important when you're doing all those things to take plenty of pictures, especially, you know, so then when you do induction or when you do graduation or whatever, you know, it's not some lame-o thing, you know. I mean, we do like, you know, regardless of what they're doing, you know, if we're doing sidewalk chalk or they're making the float or whatever those kind of things that they're doing, you know, besides us standing there with a bunch of trash, you know, at the island. So, I mean, we do it all, like we take pictures during meetings. Like last night, we took pictures when we were making the homeless bags and all those bags scattered all over that room. And, you know, and so then I think that, you know, I think well, you know, and then we do a little kind of PowerPoint thing with music and stuff like that, especially during graduation. But it's also nice, you know, during induction, so that the parents, because we put that on their feed, you know, and so the parents can do that, and it serves as our scrapbook as well. And so, you know, so that we can roll along. So I always try and get multiple pictures. Even when the kids do something like they just ran a 5K for something, I don't know what it was. And so there were 2 of them out of the kids that ran and did that, and they wore their gamma shirts, you know. So, so, you know, we just have, even if they're not doing something that's kind of like organized with us, like when we went and dropped off the food at the Humane Society and things like that, we took pictures of it, pictures of the dogs and whatever. So, you know, just, I think that that's helpful to kind of, you know, get that institutional history. So the kids, number one, especially, you know, some of the kids that are leaving and they look and think, you know, that wasn't, you know, like when we did a dog wash one time, and well, we try and do that every spring, and that, you know, just little things like that. I think that those pictures are really important to show. And so we show them, like last night, we looked at pictures from the Ronald McDonald House, you know, for them cooking and stuff like that. So it was hilarious. So, but I think that that's a way of being social, right? Because like not everybody can go to the Ronald McDonald House or go pick up trash or whatever it is. And I think that they can still see that, you know, they're there. And because otherwise we got about 29,000 kids on campus. And I don't think that my kids they don't travel in the same circles. And so they don't really see each other, you know, unless they're in a photo op or something, you know.
Okay. Good. Okay. Other thoughts? Any other thoughts in regards to engagement, involvement within the chapters? There are a couple of other things, though, then that I guess I just wanted to make everybody aware of, and I'll send out a follow-up email that'll go out to everybody, and that is just reminding folks in regards to fall recruitment. Anybody have any any ways that we can help, or everything going okay for those that are doing fall recruitment? Wendy, did everything get squared away with yours? Okay, good. So anyhow, but let us know if there's anything that we can do along those lines, and all, and particularly as you plan out it all. I think, like we put out, that our plan is not to travel this year for induction ceremonies, as we try to get some stability at the headquarters and things along those lines. And so we'll do virtual ones. So please let us know if you want virtual, either live or recorded. I know I did that for you, Wendy, last year. So anyhow, so just let us know. We're happy to try to at least help in that way. And then I don't know. I think we're obviously doing better than we were last year, but encouraging in regards to the merchandise piece, and also just encouraging your members to look at that. And I know, and I'll tie that to communication, of course, when Craig and so Kelsey and Wendy, Christina, you might have been around with Craig when he was the NED. He was really active about sending out stuff, and especially merchandise stuff, but just communication. I guess my question to you all is, how do you feel the communication is? I'm the type, I don't need a lot of communication. I'm kind of a thing. But then others, it's really helpful to get that. And I love Craig to death. But it was like, Craig, I got enough emails. Thank you very much. How do you guys feel? Is there more that we need to be pushing to you guys, or you feel reasonably informed? If you're on here, you probably are in that camp. But so anyhow, but any thoughts there in regards to how we can improve communication out to the advisors, especially? Okay. And I do need to follow up and find out how we're doing in regards to communication out to our out to the members in general. So from national. In the absence of a NED. Okay, any thoughts along those lines? Everything okay there? Okay. So anyhow, just to give you a real quick update, so as you guys know, we are, the plan is to pursue a new national executive director, and our goal was to try to start getting something out about this time. So we do have a position description, basically, that we're ready to go ahead and pretty much hit send with. My plan is, when I send the follow-up email from this later in the week, is to attach that and ask you guys to look at it. And if you all are interested, or if there's somebody that you think would be a good fit or might even be interested in it, we want to get it out to the world and get as much distribution as possible. So we would encourage you guys to shoot that out to folks that you think might be interested and might be a good fit to do something like that. So that'll, like I said, I'll attach that here later in the week. Okay. And is there anything we can do for you? Anything that we can help you guys with? If you need anything? Yeah.
We're good on our end here.
Okay. Good. Anyhow, okay. Any other questions? Any alibis? Oh my's? So anyhow, well, great. Well, definitely let us know. Kimberly and myself, we most certainly avail ourselves. If you have any questions, if you need help with anything, please let us know. And most certainly that's true of the entire National Executive Committee, but particularly Kimberly and I. Okay.
James, I might have missed this. Is anyone here willing to serve on the search committee?
Yes. Thank you, Kimberly. I meant to mention
I don't
that.
think that it's a horrible amount. Of course, those of y'all who are faculty, I'm probably lying through my teeth, but I don't think it's going to be a heinous amount of, and I don't think it matters, how new or how old you are. We certainly need chapter advisors, and y'all are some of the best attending chapter advisors. So it would make sense to ask y'all if you were interested in doing that. Obviously it's going to be done virtually. I think, with the exception of, looking at people's vita, And I don't imagine, I think that Sharon and Nikki will probably, and Nikki Simpson will probably vet them. So where you'd be looking at maybe the top 4 or 5. So you're not going to be looking at every single candidate. I think they'll vet them to make sure that they've met the priority requirements for it. So it'd probably be overlooking somebody's resume or their vita as it might be. And then participating in virtual interviews with kind of a standard set of interview questions. So I don't think it would be horrible.
What's your
But I know that we
timeframe
would
on that?
really, yeah, I think that we would really appreciate your input. And
You're expecting that to happen this semester, I assume?
I mean, like James said, she's ready to go with the, I mean, there's already people who've made inquiries into it. And so we just firmed up with some input specifically from James regarding the amount of money, as well as some of the specifics, so that we don't scare anybody off by what it is that we actually do. You know, it's pretty true to what we're expecting for the NED. Yeah. So, you know, if you're, I'd like to tell, you know, Dr. Jean-Philippe that we've got some people who will do it without twisting too many arms.
I can probably help out with that if you.
Thanks,
feel like
Wendy.
it's-
Appreciate it. Kelsey, Christina, either one of y'all interested in doing
Sorry,
it?
guys, don't mean.
Right now, for me, I'm just trying to stay afloat with all my stuff.
Okay, I got you.
We're working on a very small team, unfortunately, right now. So there's 3 of us operating
I get
like this student affairs. So,
I am still trying to get this chapter afloat, and I do plan to reach out to you, James and Kimberly, to try and get a little more insight. I feel like, as great and as responsive as the leadership has been, I came in at a weird time, like right as Craig was leaving, and then I was in direct communication with April, and I feel very incompetent when it comes to doing this. So I feel like I'm probably not a good candidate for that right now. I got to worry about a couple other things.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, and I get it. We'll you know, we'll start that, but thank you, Wendy. We'll go ahead and tell her that you're on board, and she can do some personal invitations and stuff. She knows them, or ask James too. And for some of the other advisors, I think as long as we have 3 to 4, I think we'd be okay. So, but I both of y'all, Kelsey and Christina, I get it. I mean, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm so close. I'm just right there. I'm just not wanting to do anything at all anymore. You know, I don't mind doing Gamma. I mean, that's like the one joy I have. You know, everything else.
This is like the easy one.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah, because the kids run it most of the time, and I just kind of pay the check or whatever. But yeah,
I feel like I was
get
where
it.
Christina is. Like this time last year, I was like, I have no idea what's happening. Just help me.
Well, thank y'all for even way for just considering it. And seriously, we appreciate it. And obviously, it'll be one less thing that we have to do. You know, but yeah, we do. It's good to see everybody, y'all. It's good to see everybody on this change of season kind of school thing.
Yes, definitely good to see you all. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Like I said, I'll follow up an email. I'll send out that the position description, and like I said, feel free to farm that out, you know, across whoever you think might benefit potentially from it, that we might be able to benefit from even their service. So anyhow, and then like I said, if you have any questions, just let us know. Okay. Well, bye everyone.